Hi, and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm playing along with Ginger over on Ginger's Corner, turning scraps into embellishments. All right, so over on Ginger's Corner Facebook group, they are doing their swaps. They swap embellishments. So once a month, they do like a main swap where you swap with 10. You make 10 of the same thing and get 10 different things back. And they have mini swaps weekly where you make 4 of something and you get 4 different things in return. So this one is a mini swap that I'm going to be working on today. It is called Lil Buckaroo, and it is anything Western is the theme. So I have settled on, I looked through my Cricut design space and found a whole bunch of different images that I could use that were Western themed. And I settled on a few different ones. So I'm going to make a horseshoe, cowboy boot, and and a sheriff's badge. So I am going to be using just a couple of colors, but different shades of those colors. So I settled on yellow gold for the badge and the horseshoe, and then brown for the cowboy boots. And there'll be a little bit of mixture in there. So let me pause the camera. I'm going to set up my Cricut design space to cut, and then I'll come back and assemble some embellishments with you. Hang on, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and I did a few sample embellishments up here so that I would have something to reference without having to go back and forth to my computer. So I am going to put these together with you guys. So I left them on the mats so you could see. I would look at the screen and see how big of a scrap I needed, and then I would go from there based on whatever I had in my scrap bin. Now, I don't know what I've had a couple of like not great cuts, so I think it might be time to change my blade, but that's neither here nor there. So here is the piece of the star that kind of layers on top. Just pick out the, what do they call that, weeding, where you pull out the little pieces that don't belong. Get those ones out of there. And then also these little arrow pieces go in the star as well. So we have that piece of the star, and just gonna take off these little bits and toss them out. And then we have the base of the boot and the base of the horseshoe. So those are my Western images for the Lil Buckaroo swap with Ginger's Corner. If you are interested in joining us for swaps, we would love to have you. We have swaps in the US, of course, in Canada, in Australia, New Zealand, and in parts of the UK. So go over there and check it out. If you're interested at all in swapping embellishments with other scrapbookers and card makers, we have so many incredibly talented people that love to make embellishments out of their scraps and trade them with other people. So that's always fun and exciting. I've been really enjoying it. I was able to do a lot more of it last year. This year, I knew I wouldn't have the time for it, but I've been trying to do one a month, and I've been sticking pretty close to that, so it's been good. The last one I did was a circus one. It was so fun. I love circus elements, and I did take my kids to the circus just for the experience when they were young, but it wasn't always my favorite thing. The animal part I didn't like, but I do like the acrobatics and that kind of thing. So circus, like Cirque du Soleil is good. And like, we've also been to like, like museums and stuff that have like things from circus, or like old arcade stuff, that kind of thing. Carnival, I guess, is more what I'm trying to say. So always fun, always fun. And Western is probably not everybody's cup of tea, which I get. And we're not really big on the Western kind of thing either in our household per se. However, in the community that we live in, farming is a big, and ranching and all that kind of stuff is a big part of our community. So we have stampedes nearby, we have rodeos nearby. So we've been to all of those things for sure and have photos of them. It's just not something that we participate in, but definitely have gone to watch and support people that we know and that sort of thing. So I'm just, as I take them off the mats, I separate them into which element they go with, so that it's a little bit easier to put them together. Once I get done this part, you won't have that glare at you. I just wanted you to see, because I don't think I've done it this way before when I film my Scraps to Embellishments videos. I don't think I've done where I've shown like it come off the mat before. So I thought I would share that part of my process this time. And I sometimes, if I have big enough scraps, or if I, you know, feel like I can, I will do more than one at a time. But for this one, I wanted to use up some of my smaller scraps, because when I was taking the yellow and the brown out of the oh, these are actually for the horseshoe. What am I doing? When I was taking them out of the bin, they felt like there was a lot of like smaller ones that were kind of stuck in the bottom of the, I have like an accordion folder is where I keep them. And so it felt like there was a lot of like smaller pieces in the bottom of that accordion folder. And so I wanted to use some of those. So that's why I'm doing cutting one at a time, as opposed to trying to do a couple, or, you know, sometimes I'll do 2 or 3 depending on what size is needed on the mat for that color. But yeah, so there's that. Okay. How do you guys store your scraps? I keep mine in like into an accordion folder, like I said, by color. So like this. If I have scraps that go like specifically with a collection, I keep them with that collection until they're all used up. And if they don't fit into a color category, they're gone. I don't feel the need to keep them beyond that. Did I? Did not do this. I just didn't take it off the mat the right way, I think. Okay. Now I have to figure out which way it goes. So then I'll just glue those little pieces on top. Sometimes with the Cricut layering bits, I find this kind of finicky, smaller bits layered on top. Whereas some of the ones that are created by actual crafters, like the SVG files, they know that it's more finicky to layer these things than to leave a gap and just have it show through. But I don't mind. I don't mind paper piecing. I think it's kind of fun. But yeah, as I was saying, the Scraps to Embellishments people, not all of them are participating in the swaps, but they all will follow along with the theme for the week and then show you what they make, which is kind of cool. I think it's MK that I was watching, and she was making like embellishments for her own layouts out of her scraps. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like, not for, it was like she was going to scrapbook with what she was making, and yeah, using her scraps to make her own embellishments, not for the swaps. So that was cool. I love that she still joined in, even though she wasn't going to play along with the swaps. So there's all different kinds of things to see there too. Okay, so this one I'm going to add a little bit of ink to the outside edge because it just gives it a little bit of dimension. I am going to do some browning, I think, around the outside edge of that star too. I wasn't going to, but now that I'm looking at it, I think it will probably just give it like a finished edge on there. Sometimes I do with my paper piecing, but sometimes I don't. It depends on if I feel like it needs it. And also sometimes it just depends on time. Like if I have time to add the ink, then I will. And if I don't have time to add the ink, that's okay too. There is no wrong way, as Ginger says. There is no wrong way to play with paper, I think is her saying, which is kind of cute, right? Okay, and then this one, I think I'll add ink to just because I did with the other yellow and it's going on the same piece. So horseshoe could be for lots of different things. Oh, by the way, in case you're curious, if you have a Cricut and you're wondering where did you get those images, these ones are from, I think it's the Toy Story cartridge. I can't remember if it's Toy Story specifically or if it was Pixar. I can't remember. I would have to go back and look. But I'm pretty sure I have I'm pretty sure this one was from the one that was just Toy Story. So these were images that came with that Disney cartridge. So I don't even know if you can still buy that cartridge. I didn't think to look at that. I just, my youngest son, who's now 20, he was obsessed with Toy Story when he was little. We also had a foster kid who was super obsessed with Toy Story when he was living with us. So kind of fun. So that was when I purchased that cartridge because I'm like, well, I'll get a lot of use out of this. They both wanted their bedrooms decorated that way. Birthday parties were themed Toy Story. They had Toy Story toys. They watched all the Toy Story movies. And actually now my grandkids, that's one of their, so my kids each got to keep a bin of toys that we didn't get rid of. And my grandkids love Aiden's bin of Toy Story toys still. So they're like obsessed with that. And then the ones their dad kept a bin of Lego, which of course is classic. Everybody loves Lego. So they have fun with that. And actually the uncles also have fun with that when the kids are here. And we also kept these Fisher-Price toys that are like a castle with knights and a pirate ship with pirates. And then there's a Robin Hood forest. The kids also love those. So I was happy that the boys, my older boys, picked things that were classic toys that are still fun after all this time. I don't know if Toy Story is a classic, but I think it could be because who doesn't love their toys? Right? And the whole like giving away your toys and passing them on and all of that. So sweet. I love it. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cute that these were images from a Toy Story cartridge. So I thought I'd share that in case anybody was looking for them. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's still available from Cricut or not. I don't see why not. They have licensed cartridges on there. I know I've seen like Frozen and other like more modern versions of Disney images. So I'm pretty sure it'll still be on there. And now everything's digital, so you don't need the cartridge, but that mine was originally purchased as a cartridge when I had a different kind of Cricut. And this one, actually, I'm starting to wonder if it needs to be replaced because I have to use a deep cut blade to get it to cut through. So I'm thinking it's just time to be replaced. I have the very first Cricut Explorer. Is it Explorer? Not even the one with the Bluetooth or anything like that. It was just like the very first one. As soon as they came out with a machine that could cut SVG files, I was all over it. So it's old, and I think it just needs to be replaced. Technology, unfortunately, is not long lasting. I had my dad out the other day for breakfast for Father's Day, and he was telling me how he had to replace his phone because he couldn't do his banking on his phone anymore, and he was frustrated. And when he took it to the whatever place to say, like, the app's not working or whatever, and the bank was like, how old's your phone? And so he told them, and they're like, that's why. that version of the phone doesn't update to what the app uses or something. I don't know. But so he got a new phone, and that's just the way technology is. It's how they get us to be a consumer culture, I guess. Uh-oh. I think I put the ink on the wrong side and the glue on the wrong side of that one. That's okay. I'll just wipe it off and do it again. I am kind of liking the way that I did it this time. I layered it a little bit differently. I switched out some of the colors, and I'm liking how it's coming out. So instead of a yellow boot for this one, I did a brown boot. And instead of a yellow star, I did a gold star to go with the gold horseshoe. I like it. I like them both. Where does this go? It's got to have a home. Where does it go? I do not know. Here? Yes, it must be there. I could put some yellow ink on it. And the ink sometimes just gives it, especially in, like, not this one so much because it's got that brown piece on top of the other layers, but when you're putting the tiny layers on top of the base, it gives it a little bit of dimension. It just makes it look more like it's got natural shadows and stuff instead of looking two-dimensional. This one must go at the top. So if you are here visiting from Ginger's playlist, welcome, thank you. I would love to have you as a subscriber. I don't post a ton of videos, but I do a layout share once a month, and I am often quite prolific, not so much in the summertime because I'm busy out doing all the things that I want to scrapbook later. Yeah, like I even just like May and June has been super busy for us. We've been traveling and not home a whole bunch, and then when I am home, I'm working. So just not a lot of time in the craft room, but that's okay. We got to make our memories if we want to scrapbook them, I guess. Hey, it's kind of fun. But yeah, so every month I do live layouts for my store page. One of my friends owns a store, and I do a live for her store page. I think this is the bottom of the boot. Except I'm not 100% sure which direction it goes. This way? No, that doesn't look right. Maybe this way. This way? Did I put it on upside down again? Yes, I did. That's why. Oh my goodness, I'm really losing it today. Anyways, so I do a page a week for the store, so that's at least 4 layouts, and then I usually do a class for the store, which is another 6 layouts. So I usually have at least 10 layouts to show you at the end of the month, and that's primarily what I post on my channel. And then I try to do one of these for Ginger every month for her YouTube hop, because I like to support my friends and the things that they like to do. And I do love the swaps. I wish I could participate more, but my job that I have now is not as does not leave me as much free time to craft, which is okay because I would like to retire someday. Had to get off the Freedom 95 plan. I wanted to scrapbook before, or I wanted to scrapbook. Yes, I do. I do want to scrapbook. I wanted to retire and scrapbook once I'm retired, obviously, before I turned 95. So I thought I better get a real job and make some real money. So that just means less time for scrapbooking. But I used to work for a school, and that worked really nicely for us while we were raising our kids. But our kids are all grown and moved out now, so I thought I better put that education that I spent all that money on to good use and get a job that actually, pays me decently. So that someday in the future, I can retire. We were laughing the other day because I was a young mom, which meant I was also a young grandma. And my grandson will graduate high school before I'm eligible for retirement. What? I know. Weird, right? So, but my parents were the same way. They actually didn't graduate. My parents didn't retire until after all my kids were graduated. They just, because they were young parents also, young grandparents. It's just the way our family does things, I guess. Where does this go? This is random. Oh, it goes in here. Yes, it does. And I should have put it on before I put this on because now that's too close. Nope. This is a funny thing. When I do my lives for the store, the girls tease me about how I always put things down and then pick them back up. And I just did it for you guys too. So I do not claim to be a perfectionist type scrapbooker. I'm totally okay with making mistakes and then pulling them up and putting them back down. And if I wreck something, then I'm going to embellish over top of it. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. And there I found the other piece that goes over here. Look at that. So those are my 3 pieces that I'm making for my friends in the little Buckaroo embellishment swap. If you would like to join us, the sign up starts on the Ginger's Corner Facebook page. I'll have that link below. And sign up starts on June 23rd, this coming Sunday. And then you have to mail by June 28th, which is the following Friday. So you have basically like 5 days to make your embellishments. And I always put a little bit extra effort into it because I'm only participating once a month now. But you only have to do one. Like, don't think that this is like necessary. So you have to do at least like 1 embellishment for each. So this would be good for 1 person. So you'd send this would be considered as 1 embellishment. It has to have 2 or more layers. So this one has 3 layers. So, and then the last step of it is that on the back, I'm going to write my name because it's kind of nice when I'm scrapbooking with my things to know who made it for me because I don't always know. And then I like to write, this is not necessary though, I like to write Lil Buckaroo 2024 so that whoever uses this later, flip it over and be like, oh, Nadine made this for me in 2024. And I just think that's fun. And I like to know when I'm using them who I can say made it. This one's going to be a little harder because it was patterned on the back. It was just craft cardstock with a patterned print, but I didn't use the pattern side, obviously. And what did oh yeah, Lil Buckaroo 2024. And then on this one as well. So yeah, this would be like 1 embellishment goes to each person. I like to give a little extra. It just makes me happy. And one of the rules we have over on Ginger's Corner is that we give and receive with a loving heart. So I'm going to give everybody 3 pieces. I do not expect that in return at all. I am happy with what everybody wants to send me. 2024. So exciting. So yeah, if you are interested, please come on over and sign up for the little Buckaroo swap. If you are not into Western theme things and you want to look and see what else is on there, check out the events in that Facebook group and it will tell you what else we have coming up. And you can even look at past events and see what kinds of things have come up. And if that's something that you think is interesting, definitely sign up and join up. You can participate as often as you want. If you want to play along every week and every month and add the special swaps, the card swaps, the tag swaps, the ticket swaps, all the things, go for it. If you want to sign up and only participate when it's something that interests you, so you're like, I don't scrapbook about Western things, so I'm not participating, but I do scrapbook about tropical things. So when there's a tropical or a travel theme, then I'm going to participate in that. Or I don't scrapbook about children, so if there's babies, I'm not playing along. But I would love to scrapbook about my cruise, so when it's cruise themed or ocean themed, I'm going to play along. So you get to pick and choose when you want to participate. So that is part of the beauty of it too, is that you don't have to have all these things that you're not going to use, right? So I hope you'll come over and join us. If not, at least go and check out some of the other ladies who are turning their scraps into embellishments. I will have all of their channels listed below. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Thank you so much. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. I hope you all have a great day. Bye for now.